Well, welcome to the Wine and Dine show. And this is our fourth of the year. And sadly, it's my last one right now. So I'm excited to do this. And I picked a wine that I like a lot. It is the Freedom. It's got a flag on it. This means a lot to me. So yeah, let's get going on this. We're gonna do. I'm gonna pour a glass actually, and earlier I was talking to Peter that I was drinking a glass of red wine earlier, so I had to use this to rinse it out, and then I had to drink that wine to not waste it. So, we'll, you know how it goes. All right, so. Everybody got their glass of wine or water or whatever you're drinking tonight? Rory?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do the honors.
So, we get to do this amazing thing. And you guys, I've been on calls today, and I just, we have a lot of people that are, fond of what we're doing here. There's a lot of people that tune in that we don't recognize. And so to those that are just here to enjoy it, we don't need to announce who you are. I'm just glad you're here. This is to you for showing up with us and enjoying this incredible dinner time and fun with wine and food. So this is to all you that are just visiting. Cheers.
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 Carry on.
That is great wine. Man, I like that. Thank you, Rory. All right. Well, let's start this off. Like I said, Freedom Chardonnay. So we are going to start off with Darlena Stevens, and she is going to talk to us about an appetizer she is making.
No. Can you hear me?
Wait. Yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my home. This evening, I'm going to make my family favorite, especially for gatherings. It's a 7-layer salad. Sometimes, if I don't have all the ingredients, it might be 6 or 8, so you can always add and delete to it as well. But for tonight, because it's called 7 layers, that's exactly what I have. So I want to start out just by showing you what the ingredients are. And it's really important for this salad that you have really fresh ingredients and the highest quality that you can find too, especially if it's a special gathering. So you want to start out with really crisp lettuce. And I like to put them after I wash them. I put them into my salad spinner, just so you can see me spinning it. That's my lettuce. And I like to do a mixture half and half of iceberg and romaine, both because the romaine tastes so good, but the iceberg is so crisp and really tastes good too with the combination. Next, and the layering is really important because the very last thing we're going to put on is the dressing. And this is a salad that you would typically refrigerate for at least 4 hours and even overnight before you have it. We're not going to be able to do that tonight. And so the reason we layer it in this way is that the dressing's on top and it doesn't get down to make this lettuce all wilty. Okay, so next in line comes your eggs. I went ahead and sliced them. I use my Instapot to cook my eggs because they always come out perfect. We'll come back later and put those on. And of course, I use my little slicer here to make them uniform. Next, you layer a layer of bacon, very crisp bacon. My favorite bacon for almost everything is the Costco, the Kirkland brand. It's no sugar in it and it tastes so good. It's really a great bacon if you've not tried that one. Next, you're going to put some red onion chopped up very finely. Next was the tomatoes. The tomatoes, I suggest you either use the cherry plum or the plum tomatoes because they're not as juicy as the regular slicing tomatoes because those get real soggy too and drip down into the lettuce if you're keeping it overnight with that. Then you have red onions finely chopped. Believe it or not, the green peas make the salad. It tastes so good in the salad. It really is a wonderful thing. Tonight I'm using a combination of Jack and cheddar. With your cheeses, if you're really going to be particular about them on any of your dishes, you want to grate them yourself because when you buy them pre-grated they have a coating on it of like maybe a potato flour or just a regular flour. And so that kind of affects the taste on it. Lastly, across the top, we're going to layer a mixture of half and half mayonnaise and sour cream. And you're going to put a very small amount of sugar in it, like about a tablespoon of sugar. You can leave it out, but it does affect the taste overall. So I recommend that you leave the sugar in. So with the mayonnaise, quality mayonnaise, I like Best Food. I think around the other parts of the country, it's called Hellman's, but it's the same thing. And then any good sour cream, full fat one. So you can come back to me later and I'll start doing the layering.
All right, we will do that. Cool, that's
Okay.
exciting. I can't wait to see that actually. All right, well,
Okay.
we have a treat here. Kathleen Metzler is about to show us what she's cooking for dinner. Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, excuse my voice. It's having a problem today, but I'm going to do the best I can. So I do my quesadillas different than probably anybody else in the world. So what I do is I put the chicken breast in a crock pot with 1 can of cream of mushroom and 1 can of cream of chicken. Cooks all day. The thing is, when you cook your chicken this way, you can use it for so many different things. So what I do is I cook it, I shred it, and I put it in baggies and throw it in the freezer. That way, if I want something, I just pull it out. So here we go. See, it's just falling apart. It's just falling apart.
So how long has that been cooking for?
All day.
Okay.
I started it at, what, 8:30 this morning? And I turned it off about 5:30, so to cool down so I could shred it. I usually use my fingers and shred it and my fingernails, but I'll be nice and I'll do it with forks.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, yeah. So it's still warm. It hasn't cooled down yet, so it's still warm. This is the easiest recipe you'll ever find. So if you like a lot of spices, like peppers and onions and spices, what you can do is take the shredded chicken and put it in a pan with your peppers and onions and just, saute it up that way. And then you can use that in your tortilla. I have to have mine plain because I never know how I'm going to react to spices. It's stupid, but it is what it is. Because I like flavors. So let me, there, you see the shredded?
Oh, yeah.
It's that easy.
Nice.
Nice and
Like
tender
it.
looking.
Yeah.
So was that, Kathleen, there was a question, was that just a chicken breast or was that like a whole chicken?
No, that was just 1 chicken breast.
Okay.
So I can usually get like 3 meals out of 1 chicken breast. Because I don't eat a lot, and people will tell you that. So I have quesadilla cheese. Now, I don't put my tortillas and warm them up because all I'm going to do is put this in the microwave and everything's going to melt and blend together. So you do that. You add chicken, however much chicken you want. You just spread it. Guys, I'm sorry. You guys probably can't see this, but
You're doing good.
you just spread your chicken around on the tortilla. Now, what you could also do is put salsa in here as well to give it some more flavor. And I do that a lot too. I'll put salsa in here. And I don't make my own. Sorry, guys, I'm not that much of a cook. So taste pecani sauce.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Nice. I like that.
Make it easy.
Yeah.
So I just put a little bit spread it out. Sorry if you hear my cat. She thinks she needs some chicken too. So
I guess it
Understandable.
smells good then.
yeah. See? Can you see it?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Looks good.
Oh, that looks really good.
And I just fold it over, stick it in the microwave for probably a minute and a half, minute 40, and it's done. So if you
Wow.
go to somebody that has dessert, you can go to that.
Okay.
Told you it
Well-
was simple and easy.
Yeah, that is I think was it last week or the week before Kevin Smith did a 8-minute steak and dinner. Well, I think that might win right there, Kathleen. That's like a well, it did take all day to cook the chicken. All right. All right. So, well, let's move on to June. June has has a surprise for us tonight. I'm excited to hear what she has, a good dessert. So here we go.
I put two to you and I decided to do them both. I made the bread pudding over the weekend and gave half of it away just so I'd have a little bit for tonight. But I also made the lobster crepes.
Ooh,
So
see,
because
I told everybody.
Said it went with lobster and clams, but I hate clams, but I love lobster. So I thought, okay, that'll be good. So what I have in here, I used a sweet potato and I've got lobster and brown sugar and my maple whipped sweet potatoes that are like the inside of a pumpkin pie.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so I got a little for the topping and then I've got the batter. Should I cook it now or do you want me to wait until it's actually dessert time?
I mean, yeah, go for. I mean, how long does it take? I guess the question
Not
would
long
be.
at all because I've got these induction things and
Oh boy. Okay.
I turn it up, it's hot.
All right. Well, we can. I can do a little announcement, and then we'll move on to Darlena again, and then we'll come back to you in a little bit. Then.
Okay.
All right. I can't wait to. Man, lobster crepe. That sounds amazing. All right. So I'm gonna give you a little information about why we're actually on this Wine and Dine and what we're doing and who all these wonderful faces are and everything. So I'll start off with, this is a wine club. And not only do we get to do cool things like the Wine and Dine show, but we actually get amazing, fantastic wines delivered to our doors every month, which is so cool. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I got a lot of wine back there. I'm very passionate about wine. I love my wine. And so when I found this wine club, I joined it and I've never been happier. It's great. So there's a couple parts to this wine club though. First part I'll talk about is the actual wine club itself. So all you do is you sign up and you can get 4, 6, and 12 bottles delivered to your door every month. You can actually choose if you want all reds, all whites, or a mix. And you can actually get your wine for free. You can refer other customers and you can get your wine for free for 1 month or every month, every other month, or every third month, depending on how many customers you have. So 3 customers and your wine's for free, which is, let me tell you, wine is good, but when it's free wine, oh, it's better. Trust me. So the other part of this wine club is actually what I do and what many of us on here do is the business part of it. So the business part, you talk to the person that got you here, got you to this amazing Wine and Dine show, and you can either sign up as an estate member, a reserve member, or a grand cru member. Cru sounds pretty cool, right? But each one comes with its different package, right? So the first one is the estate, and it comes with 12 bottles of wine, and it comes with a 10% discount on all case purchases and merchandise and events, 10% off. I love discounts, let me tell you. The second one is the reserve member. Reserve member, you get 24 bottles of wine, you get a 15% discount, and you get that's on merchandise, that's on events, everything, same as the estate, a little bit higher discount. And then you can also get paid, all of these you can get paid in a card if you want to use that. And then the third one, that's the Grand Cru member. I personally am a Grand Cru member because the Grand Cru member not only comes with the 24 bottles of wine, but it comes with something special. It comes with 6 fine wines. I've actually drank 2 of my 6. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And wow, they are smooth. How do I put this? You know when you eat something or you drink something and it is so good, you get like fireworks. Yeah, that's what I felt. So pretty awesome. The Grand Cru also comes with quite a few other things. So that fine wines box is worth 2-3 times the amount that you pay to even get into the wine club. So definitely worth it right there in itself. The next thing is you get to go to events that nobody else gets to go to. I went in September of last year to the first event at their at their vineyard. And I got to see a sunrise in their vineyard. I got to eat a dinner in their vineyard. I got to see the sunset. I got to spend all this time over the weekend with all these amazing people and meet wonderful people. We did a blind wine tasting. I think I mentioned that last week if you were on here, or the week before. Not to brag, I'm pretty good at it. And you get to taste other wines that are eventually going to come out, which nobody else has tasted yet. So it's pretty cool. And let's see. Oh, and you get a little black card that makes you feel pretty special. But that is
20% discount.
Oh, 20% discount. Woo! I love those discounts. So awesome. If that sounds interesting, you like what you heard, get with the person that brought you here, and you might get to meet me one day. Who knows? But awesome. All right. So let me say one thing about Chardonnay first before we move on to Darlena. All right, Chardonnay. It is one of the oldest grapes known out there. All right, one of them. And it's said to be always a little controversy when it comes to history, right? One country says it's from there. The Lebanese claim it, and Syria claim it. But of course, France also claims it. France, Burgundy. It's from Burgundy. That's what they're telling us. So little bit of Chardonnay history there. So, all right, let's move back to Darlena. She looks like she is ready.
Okay, I'm back again. So let me put the salad together for you. I did wash my hands, but I do have to touch the eggs. I can't use a utensil with those. So the first, I put the lettuce in already, so you can see the lettuce is in the bowl. And then you take your eggs and you layer them. It's nice to have a glass bowl. You can layer them around the outside because they're going to show up really nicely on here. So we'll quickly layer this around. Dun, 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 dun. Have a little bit of my wine already.
Mm.
Well, every recipe should include instructions of, take a sip of the wine, do this, take a sip of the wine.
Yes.
You don't feed the chef, it's not fun.
Okay, next comes the bacon, which we just kind of sprinkle around, and make sure your bacon is nice and crisp. Really important. So you can also substitute, if you want to make this your really hearty meal, you could instead use some shredded or roasted chicken. You could use some shrimp. You could use some really nice albacore tuna. You could use another type of protein in here, or even none at all if you don't want protein. But you have the eggs as well, so that's all good. The tomatoes, if you're going to be actually keeping it in the refrigerator overnight or for 4 hours, it's really good to put them in so that the cut side is up so that it doesn't drip the juice down into the lettuce. But because we're going to be eating this tonight, this is our dinner, I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle them through. Spread them around evenly. Mix the onions. Go on. This kind of, and if you don't like onions, you know, substitute something else or don't use them at all. We happen to like onions here. Like I said, the peas, get the really nice sweet baby peas. The frozen ones, perfect.
Do you
You
cook
can put
those?
them
Or
on
do you just,
frozen because they're
or do
going to
you
be
just
thawed by
defrost?
the time you use them. What's that?
do you cook those peas or did you just defrost them?
No, you can defrost them right now. Mine are semi frozen and they're going to be thawed by
Perfect.
the time we have it. Next, your cheese. Be generous. We all love cheese. In fact, I'll just do this. And then I'll spread it around. Lastly is your mayonnaise, sour cream, a little sugar. We're going to put that on top. And spread it around. And it really does make a difference when you get to let it sit for several hours or overnight. It just tastes so good. But for us, this is going to work. So this is this bowl, but I wanted to show you, if you have a straight-sided glass bowl, you can see how pretty it looks. I made this one up for my neighbor. We always share our food back and forth. So I'm going to take that one over to her. She can let it sit overnight. But for our purposes, voila. I'm done.
Wow. That's awesome. And honestly, very quick, right? I mean, you did prep everything.
I pre-prepped. I cooked the onions and the eggs and just chopped everything else up, had it all ready to go. Yep, very easy.
Awesome. I need to learn how to prepare like you are for cooking there. Man, I have PTSD from that time I cooked. What did I cook? Lasagna, I think. Ooh.
Oh my, you took a big challenge there.
Yeah, that was a long episode, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
And Sean, like you, I too am a Grand Cru and an admittedly wine snob now. I loved Chardonnay even before I started drinking Wine Ambassador wine. I've grown to absolutely love the reds. I still love the Chardonnays, but the Wine Ambassador Chardonnays, they are so much better than the ones I used to drink. They're just wonderful.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, actually. Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, thank you. We will move on. Kathleen's like waiting there patiently. I can see her. She's like, Sean, hurry up. Stop talking. All right, here we go. Kathleen.
Oh, I got 6 seconds.
Oh, we'll come back then.
She has 6 seconds.
All right, let's see here. Oh man, I love quesadillas.
Don, you're up in Washington. So I cut it into 4 pieces.
4 pieces. All right. So wait, so you folded it in half, right?
Yep, I folded it in half.
Okay.
Put it in the microwave. I did it for 120 and it's fine. Look. And then I have a salad here. And I want to tell you about the salad dressing. The salad dressing is pretty unique. I was raised in Nebraska. I'm a farm girl. So there is a company in North Platte, Nebraska that makes this amazing dressing. It's called Dorothy Lynch. It is so good, and it's like nothing else you've ever tasted before. It's kind of like a French, but it's got a unique flavor to it. So there's the quesadillas. Can you see?
Oh, yeah, looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't eat a lot, so this is probably gonna, you know, do me. And then I have a salad.
Nice. Very
So-
nice.
Okay.
So that's it. How easy can that be? You know, if you've got kids, they can come home from school and pull out the chicken and just pull out a tortilla and put it in the microwave, and there they go. They're off and running.
Huh.
But I
All
wanted
right.
to tell you about this chicken.
Okay.
What you can do, like I've got this shredded chicken. So you can do pulled chicken, get your redneck lipstick barbecue sauce, put the chicken in a pan with your redneck barbecue sauce, and you got pulled chicken sandwiches. You can also just take the chicken breast itself, put like a baked potato in a salad, use the soup over the baked potato like a gravy. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. And you can also use it in salads like Darlena. She could have used this in her salad tonight. So there's so many ways you can use this chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So-
sounds great. And I like the idea of bagging it up and putting it in the freezer for later.
Yeah,
Already cooked, ready to just heat up and eat.
yeah.
Cool.
So I usually make about 2 months supply and just throw it in the freezer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know everybody on here is wondering, so this salad dressing, can you get it online and do they have an affiliate link? That's what I was wondering.
I believe
I know this guy. I know this one guy. Just saying.
you get it at Walmart. I don't know. I get it at my local Fry's
Okay.
Kroger. They
All
have it.
right.
So it's
Cool.
really good. Something to try. And there's no MSG, gluten-free, no cholesterol, and no trans fat.
Well, there you go. That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
So, when you make a page on this and you get us the recipe, will that be on the recipe?
I can add it. Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd like to know.
All right.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Kathleen. We'll come back and you can eat your food here in a second. Here, June, you are up. You've been waiting patiently here.
Yay, I'm on. Just to give you an idea, that's my piece of red pudding, but this is how much of it I cooked.
Oh, wow.
I gave it all away because I know I would gain like 500 pounds if I left it for me.
Nice. I like it.
And the next size big up of this pot made the sauce.
Okay.
So this is all that's left.
Cool.
And instead of whiskey, I don't like whiskey sauce. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not a drinker. It's amaretto instead. And it's already on my pages.
Okay.
I wrote it up a long time ago. But I'm anxious to try the crepe.
I'm anxious for you to try the crepe.
So
So why don't how about we do this? Why don't we I like starting with dessert. I don't know why, but let's
I do too.
try
I
the,
love dessert and sometimes I'll forget dinner.
let's Darlena, are you okay with us trying the dessert and moving that direction?
Yes.
Yeah,
go for
let's do that. You know, let's change it up a little bit. I like the dessert first.
So in the crepes are onions, eggs, chives, and white wine, along with the flour and the milk. And that was
Okay.
because they didn't want it quite so sweet because of the lobster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a good point. We don't want it too sweet.
Oh God, that's good.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
I like mine.
My mouth is watering now. Dang. All right.
I love lobster. Ooh. Wow, that changed the whole wine.
Yeah. That
Wow.
will change the wine for sure.
I'm not as good at this as you guys. I'm just like a year into really trying to taste it and find out what's in it. But it's not sweet now, the wine.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever you have wine with dessert, any sweetness goes completely away.
Yeah, but it's great.
When you have
Very
chocolate
good.
after it
I
changes.
kind of thought the lobster would keep the sweet, but I guess the sweet potato took it away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that is really good. So
And since we got two desserts there, we
later,
can, yeah.
give me time
And
to rinse my mouth.
My
and since we got that bread pudding there, we can come back around and do the dessert at the end too.
I love it. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So let's Darlena, let's hear what you made here, or let's see how it tastes and how it goes with the wine here.
Okay, am I on?
You're on.
You're
Okay.
on.
So remember, when you dish up your salad, you really should have a really nice deep spoon that can get underneath everything and lift it all up at once so you get all that goodness. So make sure you do that. So I did plate mine with a little bit on it, and it's all mixed and ready to go. And I got a couple crackers to go with it. This will be our dinner tonight, and it's very hearty. No wonder that's a family favorite. I can try it with my wine. I've been drinking my wine, but I've waited to taste my salad before I have another taste of it. That is so good. This is a great pairing. I think it is anyway. I think that it's, as far as the Chardonnay, it's light. It's not overly oak like a lot of the Chardonnays are. Very smooth and a little citrusy to me. I like it a lot.
Cool. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
great.
a good choice to pair it with that particular salad because it's not very acidic, so it won't. Chardonnay is not a very acidic wine, so you don't want to have it with acidic food. So it's a great choice with that particular salad with the creaminess and the bacon. All that should work wonderfully.
Yeah, and it does. Very good. Thanks, Peter.
Oh, you're welcome. Beautiful job. I love the idea of that salad. You mentioned you put other ingredients in there. What you talked about the different proteins. Are there any other vegetables or other substitutions you do? Or
use what you have on hand. Radishes, celery, bell peppers, avocado would be really good too. So yeah, almost whatever you have on hand that you enjoy eating. Mushrooms, whatever you enjoy having in it. You can make the 9-layer salad.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope everybody took notes there because I learned something from there. I just normally just scoop right from the top. So now I need to get a bigger spoon and like actually dig deep, get the.
You could toss it if you want to, but if you have leftovers and everything would be mixed up and it wouldn't be as good the next time you went to have it. So it's best just to scoop from the bottom and get it all there.
Yeah, you got to keep all those pretty layers together. So,
Awesome.
Okay, Kathleen.
Cool. Oh yeah. Questadilla. Here we go. Kathleen,
Okay.
tell us what you think here.
Quesadilla. Let me.
I'll just go for. Hey, I would do that too. I'd go for the wine first.
I really do like that wine, Peter.
It's a good one, right?
Yes. So I'm going to do it without the sauce.
Oh, you could mute me. I don't think you'll call me again.
That's a good idea. Without the sauce, definitely first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The wine brings out the creaminess from the soup.
Yeah, that's one thing. Chardonnays, any level of oakiness will bring out all those wonderful buttery and creamy and dairy flavors. That's why cheeses and creams come out so nice with it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And I use quesadilla cheese. So it's just like melting in my mouth. It is really, really good.
All
So-
right, so I'm gonna have to ask the question because I don't think I've ever seen quesadilla cheese. So what is that? Can you explain that? Is that like the four Mexican cheese thing?
Yeah, basically same idea.
Good Lord.
I eat a lot of cheese.
Yeah, all right.
So I cook a lot with cheese. This weekend we're doing lasagna, so I needed a lot of cheese for lasagna.
Okay, all right. Well, that works. Nice, okay.
But
Well,
yeah.
very,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can go to the
quesadillas, you can
store.
use a lot of different cheeses, depending on, you don't always have to go Mexican flavors. You can
Right.
you can do mozzarella and tomatoes and make it a Italian quesadilla.
Italian quesadilla. Mm,
That would be good, Peter. That's a good idea.
Tomorrow night.
nice.
Or do feta and spinach and call it a Greek quesadilla.
Oh boy, oh boy. I like it. Ideas. Right on.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Well, before we,
talk
before-
to Professor Grape there, I'm sure you've researched this, so tell us all about
oh yeah. Oh yes, I have. Woo. Okay. So I got a couple things. I didn't go too crazy. This is a big grape. So Chardonnay is one of the most well-known grapes, along with like the Cab, things like that. So I got a few things here. So I told you about the oldest grape and where they think it comes from, or who claims where it's from, and where other people claim where it's from. I talked about Burgundy. So in Burgundy, they don't call it Chardonnay on their bottle. They call it a white Burgundy. So, if you ever have a wine from Burgundy, it's actually Chardonnay. Ooh, who knew?
Yeah, because
All right.
France, they tend to label where it's from, not what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It also
So-
has a name that you'll hear.
Chablis. Yeah.
Yep.
Chablis. So that's the other one. Climate. So this grape can actually be grown in pretty much any climate. Don't want to go with super, super hot, but a warm climate, a cold climate, medium climate, all climates, this grape is grown. It's actually grown in almost every country that grows wine, or pretty much every country that grows wine has Chardonnay. I'll go with the climates here. So cool climate, when you have a cool climate, you are going to get a very acidic wine, and it is going to taste more like green apples, citrusy flavors, things like that. Then once you start getting into like the medium, like warmish climate, you're going to get still like a moderate to high acidity. But then you're going to start going away from the green apple and citric, and you're going to start getting into the stone fruits, lemon. You're still going to have that lemon citrusy flavor, stone fruits and melons. And then when you get into the warm climates, you don't have that high acidity or even moderate acidity. It's going to be a medium acidity, and you're really going to be in the stone fruits, peaches. And then this is the cool part. So, and this is actually a lot of Napa, which I think I forgot to say that. So I'll bring that up in a second, but you're going to get pineapple and banana flavors, which, who doesn't like a pineapple and banana? I love pineapple and banana. So, I'm going to rewind. When I was talking about the wine club, all these wines are from Napa and Sonoma Valley area. All right. So the central area of California. So that's why they're amazing wines, right? All right. So talk about that. So now I got one other thing to talk about. Let's see if I get this right or not. Peter's going to help me out maybe here. So when people talk about Chardonnay, a lot of people think, oh, that's a real buttery wine, right? Or that's not really that acidic, right? Well, here's the deal. When you ferment Chardonnay or wines in oak barrels, they're going to start pulling out the flavors of that oak barrel, right? So you're going to get a lot of the oak flavor in it, right? But there's another thing called malolactic fermentation. And malolactic fermentation is actually where the smoothness, the buttery, the bready,
Yeah, the toasty.
nutty biscuits, things like that. That is where that flavor comes from, is malolactic fermentation. And what that is that's really a secondary fermentation where, see if the yeast, oh man, the yeast is actually stays in the wine after the first fermentation. And all right, go take it away, Peter.
Yeah, malolactic, it's what it is it's a conversion of lactic acid. It's also found, you also might recognize that from milk, because this is the same process that makes yogurt. That kind of fermentation, it's technically not even fermentation because it's a different chemical process, but it's close enough. And it smooths out those acidic notes and creates another richer variety of flavors that you wouldn't get directly. That's one of the magic of fermentation, is you take a very simple taste and you run it, and all of a sudden you get thousands of other flavor compounds out of this magic process. And that's what the malolactic or the secondary fermentation does too. You'll find it mostly in red wines. The Chardonnay is really the only white wine that commonly uses malolactic. But that's right. That's where that buttery flavor. Now, sometimes it can go too far. There was Chardonnay. A lot of people think they don't like Chardonnay because they've experienced that overly buttery, over oaked, and it came back to, I've mentioned this before, a guy named Jess Jackson who made Kendall Jackson Chardonnay, where he wanted to make, basically it's sort of like turning everything up to 11. He instead of using the fine grapes of the Napa Sonoma area or all the other really amazing regions, he uses the cheapest Central Valley grapes he can get. And then in order to make sure they all come out the same, and because he knows people like things a little sweeter than they admit, adds sugar to it. And to get that oaky flavor, that over the top malolactic, there's only so much you can get out of a barrel, and French oak barrels are very expensive, especially the first time around. And he didn't want to do that, so he adds sawdust. That gets a lot more in contact, and it really gets you massive amounts of the malolactic, and that's what gets that signature taste. To me, that's it. Some people like it, and whoever does, that's great. I know, but I prefer a little more restraint and a little more complexity and detail, and that's what you see in our Chardonnays. So people who think they don't like Chardonnay, who have tasted that, try ours. It'll change your mind. I have somebody right next to me here who didn't like Chardonnays until she started drinking these ones. But the other thing is, the people who love that, they love this wine too. I have a friend of ours we see in the summer and she can't get enough of this wine. Every time I see her come over, like, oh, do you have my wine? Yep, here it is. So it doesn't matter. People who think they love Chardonnay, people think they hate Chardonnay, try this. It's an amazing wine. It's one of the most full-bodied, richest white wines you can have. It's great with, I have a friend who doesn't drink red at all. So when I serve her a steak, I'll serve her a Chardonnay with it, and that'll work out. So it has a tremendous range of, you can plug it in almost in a lot of the places you put in a Cabernet. It has that rich, full-bodied, and having enough of that malolactic gives it, as Kathleen noticed, it was great with the cream from her chicken, with the cheese. We saw cheese a lot tonight, but it's also wonderful with seafood, especially lobster. You know how much lobster likes butter? Well, it likes Chardonnay even better. So,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's our
and
base.
and Chardonnay can go with some bigger meats too.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
it can.
yeah.
And depending on how you're preparing it, you put a steak with a béarnaise sauce, or even lamb chops. So you'd be surprised how well it'll work with just about anything. I mean, I'm going to be going for the reds with those cases, but for somebody who likes whites, they'll really enjoy this. And you see it has the range to carry you through the dessert. It's not for the right types of dessert, especially the creamy desserts and things like that. It would be wonderful. And I want to hear how it went with that bread pudding too. So.
Yeah. Let's move. June's dancing. I saw her dancing.
I guess it went pretty good.
I haven't tried it yet, but I always dance. I'm sorry. I can't do anything without, it hurts my knees to stand straight and all the weight on my knees. I'm bone on bone, both knees. So I dance and move while I do everything. Sorry.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
I know it's distracting, but I can't help it.
Oh, no,
Otherwise, I'll lock
it's
up.
fun. You're enjoying it. That's what.
Yeah,
that
my
is.
bread pudding, I made the French way in a water bath. So it's like a pudding, not bready.
Okay.
Yeah. What flavors did you put in your bread pudding?
Let me see. It was French bread, 1.5 loaves of French bread. There were like 7 jumbo eggs, 6 cups of milk, and 2 cups of whipping cream. And then I make a raisin and
And the amaretto.
cinnamon, and I do a layer of the bread, a layer of that, a layer of the bread, a layer of that, all the way till it's up to the top. Then I cook it with foil over it, except for the last 15, 20 minutes, whatever.
Just to get that little crustiness on it. Yeah.
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 So I think I'm gonna do a Chardonnay first. That is good wine. Oh my. That brought out like the raisins, like boom.
Well, grapes like grapes.
Yeah. But I mean, normally I'm not a raisin person in desserts. Cooked raisins, I like to just eat them, or I like grapes themselves. So I don't use a lot, but wow, that made it really a nice flavor that I don't get normally with raisins. So that's good. And the sauce on this is lots of butter, lots of confectioner's sugar. And instead of the whiskey, I do a layer of vanilla, a layer of almond extract, and then it's a 1/4 cup, and I do a 1/2 of the 1/4 cup of the amaretto liqueur.
Nice. Sounds good.
It is much better than the whiskey for me, because that whiskey first time I tried was like, ooh, that's strong. I like sweet, not strong. So I did. So thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, June. That's awesome. Yeah. Two great recipes, great dessert recipes right there. I like that. All right.
Really
well, I don't think I have anything else for Chardonnay. I mean, yeah, I could talk all night long about wine and stuff. So what I am going to say is thank you everybody for showing up. This is, like I said, a bittersweet goodbye for my last wine and dine for January, but don't worry, I'll be back. And I'll know more next time. So that's because I don't stop studying wine. So I'm looking forward to that. But thank you, everybody. And you all have a wonderful night. If you haven't eaten, go eat. If you have eaten, drink some more wine. And, we will see you next time on the Wine and Dine.
Oh, thank you, Sean.
All right.